Well, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us here on News 20 on GTN. I'm joined by Jim Foley, the Cultural Site Manager here at Faust Park, and this is another edition of our St. Louis County Park Show. Overwhelming response to our first three shows, and we thought we'd come out here. You've got the Butterfly House and so many other things to do. A great day out here. We've got kids playing at the park. We've got the lawnmowers going. What else could you ask for?
Well, Faust Park is one of the greatest parks in the county park system to come out and enjoy because we have so much to offer. Like you had mentioned, the Butterfly House is here, but we also have the St. Louis Carousel. We have this brand new shelter that we're standing in that was just dedicated a few weeks ago. We have picnic sites. We have our historic village, which is behind us here. And then we also have the reason for the park being donated to the St. Louis County Park System is the governor's home, which is called Thornhill. It's the oldest standing governor's residence in the state of Missouri, and we also have a great trail. So there's a lot to do here. A family can come out and picnic and have a lot of fun and spend a lot of time out here.
We talked before we went on air here, and this is a 30-minute show, but we're going to have to do two episodes here. So the first show we're going to do the Butterfly House and the Carousel, correct? And that'll fill up the first 30. The second show, we're going to take a look at some of the other things that are here. And you talked a little bit about the history of that and what the kids get to do when they come out for some of their school projects. Very intriguing. Talk to us about that.
Well, we have one of the greatest historic programs I think in the state of Missouri. At the governor's home at Thornhill, we do a program called the Seated Earth. And what that is a 4-hour program where kids in elementary school, when they start to study Missouri history, they come out and they get a hands-on history lesson. They first get a little talk about Governor Bates, who was the second governor of Missouri, and his tenure here, and why he was important into Missouri history. But the kids also get to cook their own lunch. They split rails. They all hand-dip candles, so that each kid gets to take back a hand-dip candle. So it's really a neat program, and the kids are learning the whole time what life was like in the 1800s.
I think a lot of people, if they have not been to Faust Park, you definitely have to come out and see the park. It's much bigger than I think a lot of people think. As you can see behind us, the playground here mid-afternoon is completely packed.
This is probably the busiest playground in the St. Louis County Park System. And then besides the great playground, we also have another side of the park, which is what we call the estate side of the park, which people that even come to Faust on a regular basis don't even get to see. It's where Mr. and Mrs. Faust actually lived, and we got that last half of the property in 1997. And over there we now have the Webster University School of Music over there. So you can come out for music lessons, go learn about butterflies and insects, go ride the carousel, learn about early Missouri history. Take a walk on the trail or just have a picnic and enjoy yourself.
The neat thing about any of the St. Louis County parks that we have visited and we have talked to the directors about, there's so much passion within yourself about the place. If you had one thing that maybe you're most proud of about the park, what would you want people to know?
I think probably that while we got the park, while it was donated to save the governor's home, I think probably the work that's done in the historic village. Our curator has been bringing in buildings since 1986. Right now we are working on 2 buildings being erected, and the one that's behind us and to our right we have the blacksmith shop that we just moved here from Spanish Lake, Missouri. So it's going up, and probably by next year we'll have blacksmiths working in there. And there's some really neat things about how it's being done. We put these buildings back up basically at a very cheap cost. And we have the retired St. Louis bricklayers are coming in to assist us with putting the brick forge back together. So it's a real work through many different groups to try to pull these buildings off. And then people get to come and see everything what an outhouse is. Kids today may not know what an outhouse is. They think that's really cool. Or why a shingle roof may have a little raised portion. So we get to talk about different things like that. But our historic village, we get to save buildings that otherwise would be bulldozed.
Well, Jim, we've got a lot of things to get to today, most, I guess, well known for the carousel. So let's take a quick walk across the park here. We'll be back in just a second with a look at one of St. Louis's biggest attractions, the carousel here at Faust Park. So Jim, we're here at the carousel now, officially named the St. Louis Carousel. Talk to us about the history of this. What a great attraction.
This is one of the 3 historic carousels in St. Louis. This was actually at the old Highlands Amusement Park, which was where Faust Park Community College sits now. That amusement park burned back in 1963, and the carousel then went through various stages, and finally some very forward-thinking individuals thought about saving the carousel, and they wanted a building, and they wanted to restore the carousel. So they worked on St. Louis County, built this building for it, and what was then called the Friends of the Carousel raised the money to restore the carousel. In 1987, this opened here at Faust Park. So it's been running continually since 1987, with the exception of a few years ago when we had to do a major repair on it, where we had to take every piece off the carousel and put it back together again. But it's a great historic carousel. The horses are all hand-carved wooden horses. It's a Denzel carousel, which was made right around 1921. And it's been in operation ever since May of 1987.
And this runs every day of the year?
It's closed on Mondays, but it's run 6 days a week, and then we close down usually for 2 or 3 weeks in January for our annual maintenance, where we strip all the grease, re-grease it, make sure everything's in perfect shape, and but it's open here for people to come in and ride every day, those 6 days a week.
And just standing here, it puts off a perfect breeze on a nice sunny day, right?
It really does. It's in a climate-controlled facility. Then you got the breeze. You got the nice band organ for the atmosphere of the carousel. But this is a great addition to Faust Park that draws a lot of people over the years here.
And joining us now, Twyla Fugman, Recreation Director here at Faust Park. Glad you could join us. We appreciate your time. We talked to Jim a lot about the carousel and a lot about all the great things to do out here at Faust Park. Tell us about some of the specific things that are being done and individuals can do as families to come out here and enjoy the carousel and the park as a whole.
Absolutely. One of the really great things is we have generations coming here who rode the carousel back when it was at the Highlands, and then they bring in their kids who then bring in their kids, and so sometimes we have 4 generations riding, so it's a great thing to do. You're part of moving history when you ride it, and so it's a great activity just for families. But we have a lot of events going on, particularly for our kind of preschool ages and things like that. Right now we're doing mad science classes, and there's all different kinds of classes that they can learn about the world around them and science. And then we also have 2 dates of Olden Days of Summer at Faust, where there's 15 different historic activities. The kids can learn what it's like to actually be a kid in the old days of summer, where you had to do things like butter churning, and we have pony rides and petting zoo and crosscut saw and things like that. In the fall, we have a lot of puppet shows, and coming up we have a Boo Bash that's going to have a Harry Potter theme, so always check with us. We always have something going on for the whole family.
So very busy person out here, right?
Yes.
As far as some of the faces of the kids who get off this carousel, a lot of enjoyment. If you have not been out here to see this, what a great attraction here in St. Louis. You had said voted number 19 on the list, right?
Yeah, must do in St. Louis, number 19. So we're in the top 20, and it's good for everyone to come out. Everybody, regardless of your age, is automatically between the ages of 2 and 8 when you ride it. So it's a great place to come if you're in need of a little youthful experience.
And we just heard behind us, I can't wait to get in. I hope they were able to see that. Yeah. But as far as not only the youngsters, but I've seen a lot of older individuals get on the rides, and I'm sure it kind of brings back memories of maybe the olden days.
Absolutely. We do a lot of corporate events, weddings, and we are always hearing how much the adults enjoy it just as much as the kids. I mean, it's one of the fastest carousels in the United States. We have a nice long ride. It's 5 minutes long, so it's a great experience.
As far as reservations, do they need to make them, or can you just come out and enjoy the ride at your convenience?
We're open every day but Monday from 10 to 4, so come during those times and we'll make sure you have a twirl.
Now we're here at Faust Park at the Butterfly House. I'm joined by Chris Hartley, the education coordinator. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you
so
very
much to enjoy here at the park, but this is one of the aspects of the park that everybody knows about. Can you talk to us a little bit about the history?
The Butterfly House first opened in 1998, and we became a part of the Missouri Botanical Garden in 2001. We are one of the largest butterfly houses in the country, able to fly about 2,000 butterflies all year long, even in the middle of winter.
When you look at the Butterfly House as a whole, most visibly people see the big glass house. Talk to us about the temperature that it needs to stay and the background on a butterfly, basically.
Right. It always stays about 85 degrees Fahrenheit and about 75 to 80% humidity. That's all year round, and that's necessary for our tropical butterflies to have a happy, healthy existence.
Now, we can talk about this all day long, but the best thing to do is just head inside and take a tour of the facility.
Couldn't agree more.
All right, sounds good. Chris, we're inside now. A lot of things to talk about here and a lot of things to see, especially starting here on the wall with the family of attractions.
Right. This is our family of attractions wall, showing that we're a part of the Missouri Botanical Garden and also the Butterfly House and Shaw Nature Reserve, which is the other division of the garden. We are pleased to have our connection to the garden. This means many things, that we are a part of their plant-based mission, and we bring the insects into the plant world and show how everything is interrelated. Also, Missouri Botanical Garden members are able to get special discounts and bonuses here at the Butterfly House as well.
On the other side of the wall here, a lot of exhibits.
Right. We highlight the insect world as a whole. Butterflies are just one piece of this. Insects are so important to life on Earth, and here we're showing how insects feature into deserts, grasslands, and rainforest habitats. We have insects and some of their relatives, such as millipedes, from all around the world, and guests are able to experience them in these wonderful displays that we have.
What's some of the general feedback that you hear as we see here a lot of people standing and looking at the containers with all the little different bugs? A lot of people are afraid of bugs. They want to smash them and kill them, but here they're very well protected.
You are exactly right that a lot of people have this cultural, almost primal fear of insects. Really, a lot of us just know cockroaches that get into our houses and things like that. So we are trying to educate people that bugs and insects do so much more than that. And even cockroaches and the termites and the things that we don't like so much have very important roles. So here we're showing the ones that are not pests and emphasizing that pests are just a small, small piece of the insect world.
And as we move down the wall here, it talks about the habitat, the grasslands, and then you see the trees, and we move down to the tropical rainforest. Do they progress, and how often are the bugs changed in here?
The bugs don't change very frequently, but we do often get very interesting things in that we want to highlight and spotlight. So we change these out several times throughout the year. There is no progression here. We're just really showing three distinct habitats, the rainforest, the grassland, and the desert, showing how different they are, but also kind of the similarities that insects have all around the world that unite them as a family.
So as we move around the corner here, you see a close-up here, are these?
These are Madagascar hissing cockroaches, certainly one of the most well-known insects because so many of them have been featured even in movies and such.
Definitely something you don't want to see in your house, right?
And you
in
never
the garage
would.
or the basement, right?
And you never would, because these guys are a roach that never bothers people. Never ever.
Well, good. Hopefully it won't bother us right now. All right, as we move around the corner here, we have butterflies of the world.
And this is the entrance to actually the Butterfly Flight House. The Butterflies of the World display shows just some of the incredible diversity, colors, shapes, and patterns that are found in butterflies all over the world. It may be hard to pick up on camera, but there is a world map outlined behind here. So over here is North America, right here is Australia, Asia, butterflies from all over the world and the diversity that's there.
This might be a crazy question or a funny question, but what gives the butterflies a variance in their colors? When you see them flying around the house, are they male, female? I mean, how does that work?
Well, as with birds and some other animals, sometimes the male and the female do look very different. At a physical level, talking about their body parts, what gives them their color are the scales on their wings. Butterfly wings are covered in tiny scales, like fish scales, and the scales are actually colored. So that is what gives the wings their colors, and that just varies, just like human hair color varies.
And you see here behind us
on the wall
a butterfly farm, this is in Costa Rica.
That's right. This is one of our butterfly farms in Costa Rica. We actually get all of our butterflies shipped to us. We are not breeding them here. So they are shipped to us in the chrysalis stage from butterfly farms like El Bosque Nuevo here. El Bosque Nuevo means the new forest in Spanish, and this butterfly farm is a very sustainable, very real conservation effort. We are pleased to have this partnership with them because what they do is preserve the rainforest habitat around their farm. They are using the profits they make from selling butterfly chrysalids to expand on this farm and to add more and more acres to it and preserve that as natural rainforest.
Now, one thing my oldest boy always comes home from school talking about is pollination.
Right.
And that's our next exhibit here.
And we know lots of kids are learning about it in school, and we here at the Butterfly House really want to emphasize that without pollinators, we would not have many of the foods that we depend on. Roughly 75% of the foods that we use, fruits, berries, nuts, they all depend on pollinators, and insects are the most important pollinators.
As we move down the wall here,
We have lots of different exhibits out. Education carts such as this rotate throughout the year to reflect the special exhibits that we have going on. Now we have a very general bug display out because summer here is all about bugs. We have a bug hunt event coming up at the end of July. It's July 20th and 21st. That's going to be a wonderful event that people should check out. We're going to have games and activities, crafts, and actual journeys out into the field with staff members to look for real bugs.
what's the general consensus of the kids as they walk through here and see bugs of this size? Are they scared or do they appreciate things like this?
It's really an overwhelming sense of wonder more than anything. Bugs, especially these big, unfamiliar bugs, are fascinating. We get a lot of, ooh, wow, what is that? And the gross factor certainly does play in because of that kind of inborn uneasiness around bugs. But once they see them up close, like take this giant roach tank here, that's full of cockroaches. But people, more often than not, end up being fascinated by it, just watching how they move and what they're doing and the fact that they're not bothering anyone here.
What about the parents? Is it a different story from the parents?
It often is, but even the parents can be convinced to come up for a closer look and appreciate these guys for what they are and the role that they play in forests and their natural ecosystems where they occur.
I'm looking at some of the faces of some of the visitors standing, looking at the bugs right now, and I'm sure that's something you see quite often.
We do, but what we find is that through displays like this, we can actually educate people about the role roaches play in the environment. That aversion is instinctual and is often the first thing people do, but here we have a chance where they're safely behind glass, where people can come up and learn more.
That's why we are standing approximately 3 feet away from the glass, because I'm scared to death of these bugs. Now, what would happen if I stuck my hand down in there? Would they attack me?
No, certainly not. These roaches are fruit eaters. As you can see, there's orange slices in there and banana slices. They eat plant matter. They eat fruits, leaves, things like that. They do not eat flesh. They're not hunters. They wouldn't do a thing to us. We can pick up handfuls of these guys, which we don't do when they're on display, but in classes you can hold these roaches. They are totally harmless.
Now, looking at them in here, are they like an attacking type culture? You can see them kind of hitting together. I mean,
no, they're communal. And obviously we have kind of displays of dominance and stuff going on, just like you would have with any animal. But they live together in large groups. They would live this way in nature. So they're actually very comfortable being really close together. And you see them moving around looking for food or pursuing mates, or perhaps you have two males who are facing off in a little bout of territoriality. But that's all.
Chris, we're now in the Lopata Learning Lab, and we've got a full house here. Talk to us about what the kids learn when they come into this room.
We love our classroom, and this is our classroom, event space, free play space, exploration station. Right now we have a group of kids here who are experiencing facts about insects and learning new things. We leave this room set up with puzzles and games, things to explore, touch, look at under microscopes. We change it out throughout the day, throughout the year, but whenever we don't have a formal program in here, guests can just come in and explore. We have a reading cocoon over in the corner where people can relax and read a book. We have a lot of books about insects and spiders and nature that you can read with your parents or by yourself. We do have school programs come through here, field trips and programs like that. We host Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts here. We even do birthday parties in here.
That was going to be one of my questions. Of course, you can come out as a family, but if you have a group, an organized group, they can contact you and get that all taken care of through you.
Yes, you can. We do school field trips. We do camps. We do day camps during the summer. We do scout programs. We can help you complete some of your merit badges. Many, many things that we can help you with. But this is for families a learning station. This is where you can touch the things that you can't touch inside the butterfly house. This is where you can learn more about our bugs or just relax and have fun learning. We are outside in the butterfly house's native habitat garden. This is an area where we have cultivated a large variety of native plants, which is the plants that butterflies and other insects would naturally look for food or shelter or places to lay eggs. We feel that it's very important to demonstrate what a native plant garden would look like because many visitors want to know what are some things they can do to attract butterflies and bees and other useful insects to their garden. So we have provided a demonstration garden, a learning garden, and just a beautiful place where guests can come and appreciate nature. Here you can find host plants for butterflies, that is the plants that butterflies look for to lay their eggs on. So you might even have the chance of finding a caterpillar feeding out here. You'll certainly see the butterflies as they come to get nectar. You'll see frogs and birds and dragonflies and all sorts of other animals too. Many of our guests love coming out here just to see the cool waterfall and the stream, the trees and the plants. We have education events out here throughout the year too. This is one of the places that will be included in our Bug Con event at the end of July. And up here on the hill you can see our Monsanto Education Pavilion, where we also periodically have things for our guests to interact with and experience. Also, we have weddings out here, so you can potentially book your wedding here at the Butterfly House.
In terms of the butterflies out here, Chris, is it kind of a come and go type atmosphere?
Right. We're obviously not stocking this garden in any way. It's totally natural. So the butterflies come as they will. They visit, then they fly off to look for food and other.
We're actually inside the butterfly house now. What, 85 degrees plus in here?
Plus.
And nice and humid, right?
The humidity is what makes it feel really hot. Believe it or not, it can actually be cooler in here than it is outside on a hot summer day. But it is very humid.
And as you can probably see in the background as John shoots, there's butterflies everywhere. When you walk into here, it's just they're free flying. They can land on your hand. They're everywhere.
They are free flying. They do come down and land on people. There's absolutely no barrier at all between guests and the butterflies. We have roughly 2,000 butterflies in here all year long. When we do special events, we can actually have more than that. And there are two special events, one all March long, which is called March Morphomania, one all October long, which is called October Owls and Orchids. We increase the number of those butterflies for those special events.
Turnover of butterflies and lifespan of the butterfly.
Yeah, many people don't realize that the typical butterfly only lives 2 to 3 weeks as an adult. So we do have a lot of turnover. Our butterflies die in here of old age, just completing their life cycle naturally. We actually have to have 900 new butterflies shipped to us every week from the butterfly farms to keep the numbers as high as we like them.
And we saw as we walked in, there's almost a security door to keep the butterflies in.
These are tropical butterflies, which means that they're not native to our environment. So we do have to have a quarantine, basically. They're not allowed to leave the building.
And this room, open all year round.
It is. All year round. There are a few times when we close for needed maintenance, but other than that, it is a year-round facility and you can see the butterflies anytime.
What's the general consensus when somebody walks through that front door like I did and the butterflies are just everywhere? What do the kids and adults say?
Looks of wonder and amazement predominate. Everyone is just so amazed to see so many beautiful butterflies flying all around them.
We're here with the waterfowl behind us now. Are there other aspects of the butterfly house itself here that are spectacular?
Yeah, obviously the water feature is a highlight of this conservatory area, but we have beautiful trees, beautiful tropical plants, orchids, all sorts of beautiful flowers that are in bloom year-round. The flowers, of course, provide nectar, food for the butterflies, so we have to keep a lot of them in bloom, but the flowers themselves themselves are beautiful. Again, during the month of October, we have October owls and orchids, where we have over 200 blooming orchids in here. Just an amazing sight, really. This is our emergence case, where we put all the chrysalis that we receive from the butterfly farms and let them emerge into adult butterflies. When guests come here, they can see butterflies inside here. Often they'll see them flapping their wings and looking like they're ready to go out. We leave the butterflies in here for several hours to make sure they're strong enough to fly. It actually takes a butterfly's wings that long to warm up and get enough strength to fly very well. Now, we also have 2 events coming up this fall that guests won't want to miss. One is Booterflies, which is happening the weekend before Halloween in October. It's going to be our evening Halloween party with insect-themed games and stuff. It's totally non-scary, great for little kids, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, in December, you'll want to look forward to Supper with Santa. We had this last year, and it was a smashing success. We're offering 6 weekend suppers this year. You'll want to sign up for these ahead of time. Registration will be open very soon, so watch our website. With Supper with Santa, you get to visit Santa, complete cookie crafts, get a free meal out of it, all for the price of your ticket to Supper with Santa.
Now, Chris, the first thing you see as you come or you leave the place is, of course, the snack stand and the gift shop.
Right. This is our Madame Butterfly gift shop. And we want everyone to know that now we do offer snacks. This is a new thing for the Butterfly House, but we are pleased to have them here so you can stay a while. There's easily at least 2 hours of stuff to see here when people come. And on the way out, you can appreciate some of our really high-quality butterfly and insect-themed gifts.
I heard it through the grapevine that you make all this stuff.
I wish. We're not that talented, though.
Now, some of the pictures that we did see in one of the rooms also are for sale, too.
Back in our classroom, we have lovely paintings by local artist Marlene Lewis, and we offer high-quality, really amazing prints of those for sale here.
She knows, and she's known.
As far as the hours of the Butterfly House and the park as a whole, talk to us about that.
Right. The Butterfly House is open during the summer. That's Memorial Day to Labor Day, 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. After Labor Day, we close on Mondays and only stay open till 4, but we are open all year long.
Now, you've been here since 2007. Talk to us about what it means to you and what it means to the people who come in here and partake on a daily basis of something that's very unique to the St. Louis area.
It is very unique to the St. Louis area. You won't see anything like this anywhere else. Our Butterfly House provides a chance to get up close with living butterflies in free flight and to have them fly right around you, fly very close to you, and really come closer than you'll ever be able to see them in nature. The butterflies that we have here come from all around the world, so it's going to be species that you can't find here in the United States, and it's just an amazing experience that you're not going to want to miss.
Well, Jim, it's been a fascinating half hour, only the first half hour of a full-hour show here at Faust Park, but to kind of summarize everything we saw today, you have to be proud of what you have here at the park.
Well, St. Louis County has a great park here in Faust Park, and this will be obviously one of 2 parts. We already saw the St. Louis Carousel and the Butterfly House here in Faust Park, and the next show we'll talk a little bit more about the reason we got the park, which is the oldest standing governor's residence in the state of Missouri, as well as the historic village and the other features of Faust Park.
And as we wrap things up, if someone wants more information, where can they go to find it?
You can go to either our website at www.stlewisco.com/Faust, or you can call 314-615-8328.
Well, Jim, it's been a pleasure. It's been a great time. I've had a wonderful time. You and your family, make sure and come out and enjoy Faust Park. So many different things to do for the entire family. We hope you enjoyed the show tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night right here on News 20 on GTN. Have a good evening.
Hello, my name is Norm McCourt. I'm the mayor of the city of Blackjack, Missouri. Make sure to follow the city on all of our social media platforms, including Facebook at City of Blackjack Government, and on Twitter at City of Blackjack, and of course, right here on GTN TV. You can also visit us on the web at cityofblackjack.com. As our motto states, we are proud to be connected with the community.